Welcome to this life-changing video. I want you to take a deep breath right now and forget everything that's distracting you because what you're about to hear could be the most important message you've received in a long, long time. This video is not just about motivation. It's not about quotes. It's not about believing in yourself and moving on. This video is about transformation, and that transformation starts with a deep truth that most people never realize until it's too late. The best investment in the world is not gold, not real estate, not stocks. It's you. It has always been you. While the world teaches you how to chase everything outside of yourself, money, followers, fame, likes, relationships, no one teaches you how to build your inner value. No one teaches you how to grow your mind, how to build your confidence, how to develop the discipline that creates real success, and how to design a life that doesn't need to be escaped from. That's why this video was created. In this video, we're going to go through 15 of the most powerful, practical, emotional, and life-changing ways to invest in yourself. Not in theory, not in boring advice, but in ways that actually work. Ways that change lives. Ways that can change yours starting today. And if you're learning English, this video is also perfect for you. Because every sentence here is spoken in simple, clear English, designed to help you understand deeply, learn vocabulary, and improve your fluency while you grow as a person. So don't just watch this for motivation. Watch it to upgrade your life. Watch it to improve your English. Watch it for your future. And most importantly, watch it till the end, because the last few self-investments we'll talk about might be the exact reason why your life has felt stuck. If you're ready to become the best version of yourself, if you're ready to invest in the one person who truly matters, then you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Let's begin. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because this is just the beginning of a journey that will completely change your life. Way 1. Read for growth, not for speed, not for show. Let me tell you something that most people don't realize. The person you are today is a result of the thoughts you've repeated, and those thoughts come from the information you consume. So if you want to upgrade your life, you must first upgrade your mind. And one of the most powerful, affordable, and life-changing ways to do that is to read every single day. But wait, I'm not talking about school books. I'm not talking about finishing 52 books in 52 weeks just to look smart on social media. I'm not talking about reading for fun or entertainment. I'm talking about reading for transformation, reading to grow, reading to think differently, reading to destroy your limitations, and build a new mindset from the ground up. Most people stop reading after school. They believe learning is only for students. So they scroll, they swipe, they binge, they consume memes, gossip, reels, and comparisons. And years go by. They feel depressed, confused, and empty, but they don't know why. The reason is simple. They stopped feeding their mind. Your brain is like a muscle. If you stop using it, it becomes weak, tired, and slow. But when you read powerful books, you lift heavy weights of wisdom, clarity, language, and vision. You become mentally stronger than 99% of people. Let me tell you a story. There was a man named Daniel. He wasn't rich. He wasn't smart in school. He failed many subjects. Everyone around him said he would never succeed. He started working at a warehouse, lifting boxes, working night shifts, coming home tired, no hope. One day, on his lunch break, someone left a book on the table. Daniel picked it up. It was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. He read the first page, then the second, then he didn't stop. That night, he searched for more books. He began reading about self-discipline, mindset, financial intelligence, confidence, leadership, building value, and finding purpose. He didn't just read once. He read every night for months, then years. He didn't talk much, but inside, his mind was on fire. Today, Daniel is not a warehouse worker. He runs his own business. He leads teams. He writes articles. He teaches others. And it all began with one decision. I will not go to bed until I've read at least one page. That's the power of reading for growth. Now, maybe you're thinking, but I don't know what to read, and my English isn't strong. What should I do? Here's the answer. Start small. Start simple. But start powerfully. Don't worry about finishing the book. Worry about understanding the book. Here are some beginner-friendly books that are easy, short, and life-changing. The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz teaches you how to stop suffering from overthinking. Atomic Habits by James Clear teaches you how small changes create huge results. Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer Johnson teaches you how to deal with change. Ikigai teaches you how to find purpose. The Power of Now teaches you how to stop anxiety and live in the present. The Alchemist is a story about chasing your dream and listening to your heart. The Magic of Thinking Big helps you believe you're capable of more. You don't need to understand every word. Underline what feels powerful. Read the same page twice if needed. Don't read fast, read deeply. When you start reading every day, even just one page, something amazing begins to happen. Your vocabulary grows. Your thinking becomes clear. You become more confident in conversation. You begin to speak better English. You stop thinking like a victim. You develop mental discipline. You see opportunities where others see obstacles. You become wiser, calmer, and harder to manipulate. You start asking better questions. You become unstoppable. Reading is not just learning. Reading is becoming. You become a better version of yourself, page by page, day by day. Here's a challenge for you. Never go to sleep without reading at least one page of a good book. One page a day equals 365 pages a year. That's one full book. Now imagine you read 5 pages a day, 10 pages a day. Within a year, your thoughts, your language, and your confidence will be 10 times better. And guess what? Most of the world won't even read 10 full books after leaving school. If you read one book a month, you're already ahead of 90% of people. You don't need luck. You don't need money. You don't need perfect English. You just need a book and a decision. You want to invest in yourself? Start with your mind. Books are mentors that never charge you. They're available 24/7. They don't judge you, and they never stop teaching. One sentence from the right book can change your entire future. So go get one, open the first page, and start building a brain that no one can ignore. Way 2. Learn English, the language of global opportunity. If you want to start investing in yourself truly, deeply, in a way that creates more opportunities for your future, then the first thing you must do is this. Learn English. Yes, English. Not because it's cool, not because people will think you're smart, but because English is the key to unlocking a world of knowledge, freedom, confidence, and success. Let me explain. Today, the internet runs in English. Most of the world's books, interviews, podcasts, TED Talks, business deals, and global conversations all happen in English. If you don't speak English, it's like you're standing outside a room full of wisdom, success, and growth, while the door is wide open. But you can't step inside. That's why learning English is not just a school subject. It's an investment in your voice, your future, and your power to speak for yourself. Let me tell you a real story. There was a boy from a small town in Vietnam. No one in his family spoke English. He was shy and poor, and he worked in a mechanic shop with his father. He failed English exams again and again in school. People called him dumb, but he didn't give up. Every night after work, he would sit with an old phone and listen to English YouTube videos. He couldn't understand a single sentence at first, but he kept listening. He wrote down new words. He repeated phrases in front of the mirror. He shadowed videos line by line. No teacher, no class, no help, just consistency. Slowly, he started to understand. He started to speak. And one day, he created a YouTube channel in English. Today, that same boy has millions of subscribers. He speaks fluently, travels the world, and earns more than 100 times what he used to. He didn't win because he was smart. He won because he invested in the one skill that gave him a voice. That skill was English. But what if you're scared or feel too old? Here's the truth. You are not too old. You are not too weak. You are not too late. You just need to start with simple actions. Speak to yourself in English for 5 minutes every day. Watch videos with subtitles. Write your thoughts in English. Learn 5 new words a day. Talk to the mirror. Don't care about grammar at first, care about courage. You don't need to speak perfectly. You just need to start speaking. You don't need to sound like a native speaker, you just need to sound like you, with confidence. Learning English is not like buying a phone. A phone gets old, your clothes get old, even your body gets old. But the skills you build, especially language skills, they grow, they compound, and they open new doors for the rest of your life. With English, you can study anything from anywhere. You can get international jobs, work from home for foreign companies, teach others and earn, speak to anyone in the world, start your own YouTube channel, podcast, or blog, travel confidently, and learn any new topic 10 times faster. Most importantly, you stop feeling trapped in silence. You start feeling powerful in communication. You want freedom? Learn English. You want confidence? Learn English. You want to grow faster than 90% of people around you? Learn English. It's not just a language. It's your weapon, your tool, your passport to the future. Start small, start now, but never stop. Way 3. Find a mentor. Learn from experience you haven't lived yet. In every great system, whether it's a business, a military unit, or even nature itself, there is a principle of guidance. The young learn by observing the experienced. The beginner survives by learning from those who've already failed and recovered. This is not just wisdom, this is survival. That's why one of the greatest investments you can ever make in yourself is this. Find a mentor, but not just anyone who's older, not just someone who talks a lot, not someone with a title or degree. A mentor is someone who has already achieved or survived what you are currently struggling with. A mentor has lived your future. They've made mistakes you haven't made yet. And because of that, they can collapse 10 years of struggle into 1 year of growth. Let's take an example from the airline industry. Every single commercial pilot, no matter how talented, must train under an experienced pilot. Why? Because you can't read about engine failure and truly understand the panic of real-world failure. You can't simulate the human reaction of losing altitude until you've been in a cockpit with a mentor who has faced it and survived. So pilots do hundreds of hours with a senior flight instructor beside them. They learn what not to do, what to ignore, what to pay attention to, what to expect in storms, and how to respond when things go wrong. That mentor is not just teaching flight, they are teaching survival. And that principle applies to your life too. Here's what happens when you don't have a mentor. You try to figure everything out alone. You repeat the same mistakes thousands of people have already made. You waste months on the wrong books, wrong plans, wrong tools. You get stuck in perfectionism because you don't know what good enough looks like. You quit early because you have no one telling you, this is normal. Keep going. The price of not having a mentor is not just slower growth. It's unnecessary suffering. A real mentor doesn't give you fish. They don't spoon feed you. They do something far more powerful. They show you how to think. They teach you how to prioritize, eliminate distractions, focus on systems instead of luck, make better decisions, recover faster from failure, and see the long game instead of short-term wins. Mentors upgrade your software, your thinking engine, so your results start to change automatically. How to find a mentor, even if you're unknown or broke. Forget what you've been told. You don't need a famous mentor. You don't need to beg. You just need to do these 3 things. First, find people one level ahead of you. For example, if you're learning to design logos, don't try to message the CEO of Nike. Look for someone who just landed their first freelance client. That's someone whose experience is fresh. They remember the struggle. They can speak to your stage. Second, give before you ask. In nature, there's no such thing as free energy. If you want a mentor's time, attention, or advice, give value first. What kind of value? Share their work. Leave a detailed, thoughtful comment. Write about something they taught you. Offer to help with small tasks like proofreading, design, or feedback. Show that you are a student who applies knowledge, not just collects it. Most people ask for a mentor like this. Can you mentor me? Wrong. Ask like this. Hi, I read your article on portfolio design. I followed your method, built a new portfolio, and got my first reply from a client. Thank you. Can I ask you one more question about pricing? This shows respect, action, and effort. That message gets a reply. Third, pay for it if needed, because your future is worth it. Sometimes, mentorship costs money. That's not a scam. That's a shortcut with accountability. If you're stuck and a mentor offers a paid session, treat it like fuel. If it saves you 6 months of pain, was it worth $100? Absolutely. The most successful industries require mentorship: pilots, surgeons, soldiers, builders, athletes. They all grow under someone who has seen more and survived more. Don't be afraid to follow someone who has walked your path. Be afraid of walking blindly into failure you could have avoided. Your mentor doesn't need to be a hero. They just need to be one chapter ahead. Find them, study them, serve them, learn from them. That's how you multiply your growth and save your future. Way 4. Sell something. Discover the truth about confidence, value, and freedom. Now, let's talk about something that has transformed lives, built empires, and rescued people from financial ruin. Selling is not begging. It's not scamming. It's not manipulation. Selling is simply this: here is something valuable. Do you want it? That simple action, offering something of value in return, is the engine of personal power. The people who sell control their time, their income, and their future. But the people who are afraid to sell, they wait, they depend, they suffer. Let's look at something as simple as a supermarket. Do they create food from scratch? No. Do they plant the rice or catch the fish? No. They organize, present, and sell value. A banana might cost 30 cents at the market but $1 in a supermarket. Why? Because it's packaged, clean, easy to grab. The banana didn't change, but the presentation of value did. That's the power of selling. If you can take something raw, package it with care, explain its value simply, and deliver it to the right person, then you can sell. And if you can sell once, you can sell again. And if you can sell again, you are no longer dependent on anyone. When you sell something, even once, you instantly improve your speaking and listening, your confidence and rejection handling, your money mindset, your empathy, your sense of service, and your resourcefulness. Selling teaches you what people actually value, not what you think is valuable. That is a skill no book can give you. Only experience can. Let's break a myth right now. You don't need a business. You don't need a factory. You don't need thousands of followers. All you need is one small offer, one person who needs it, and one sentence that explains the result. For example, can you design a basic logo? Offer to do one for $10. Can you edit videos? Offer to edit 1-minute reels for small creators. Can you teach spoken English? Offer a single 30-minute class. Can you write product descriptions? Offer one for $5. The goal is not to become a millionaire overnight. The goal is this: I offered something, someone paid me, and now I believe I can create income with my own value. That belief is the root of freedom. The moment you sell something, ask for feedback, ask for a testimonial, improve the offer, raise the price slightly, and repeat to a new group. Then create a simple system and message you send to new people. A portfolio or screenshot, a calendar for delivery, a follow-up message. With this, you have your first mini business. And from that, your self-respect grows like wildfire. Before selling, most people feel like, beggars, can I get a job? Can someone give me money? Am I good enough? But after selling, the mindset shifts. I can create value. I don't need permission. If I can sell this, I can build something. That confidence doesn't come from affirmations. It comes from doing. One sale, one message, one offer. That's where your power starts. Selling is not about shouting. It's about understanding. Understanding what someone needs and helping them get it. The banana didn't change, but the way it was offered did. You don't need to change who you are. You just need to package what you already have and offer it. When you learn to sell, you stop being afraid of rejection. You stop waiting. You start building. You take your power back, one sale at a time. Way 5. Build a second income stream. Don't let your future depend on one job. Let's face the brutal truth that most people never want to hear. If your only source of income is your job, your freedom is an illusion. If the company fails, if the boss changes, if the rules shift, if you get sick, if the economy crashes, your entire life can collapse overnight. That's why one of the smartest and most life-changing investments you can ever make is to build a second income stream, one that doesn't depend on your job, your energy, or your availability. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. Imagine a small local coffee shop. Their entire income comes from one thing: customers walking in and ordering coffee. But what if one day there's a flood, a lockdown, or construction outside and customers stop coming? That shop, no matter how good it is finished. Now imagine if that same coffee shop also sold branded mugs online, delivered cold brews through an app, offered coffee bean subscriptions, uploaded coffee tutorials on YouTube, taught barista skills through an online course, and partnered with offices for weekly supply deliveries. Now what happens? If the physical shop shuts down for a week, they still earn. That's the power of multiple income streams. A second income stream is something you build once that continues to pay you again and again without you needing to be there all the time. It could be selling a digital product, an ebook, template, design, or course. It could be affiliate marketing, promoting someone else's product and earning a percentage. It could be investing in rental property, dividend stocks, or automated stores. It could be licensing your photos, music, writing, or ideas. This is not about getting rich fast. It's about never being poor again, even when your job disappears. How do you start building your second income stream, even as a beginner? Pick a skill you already know, no matter how small. For example, typing fast, cooking, painting, organizing, using Canva, basic finance, making tea. Turn it into something teachable, sellable, or scalable. Can you teach it? Create a mini video series or ebook. Sell it. Offer a package, online templates, journals, PDFs, posters. Can you use it? Start a side service like freelance editing, small brand design, or tutoring. Create a one-time asset. For example, make 10 simple templates and sell them on Gumroad. Record 3 short videos on how to build a Canva resume and post them on YouTube. Build one Notion planner and sell it to students. Set up systems so it runs without you. Use platforms like Payhip, Etsy, Gumroad, Skillshare, or YouTube. Add basic automation, email delivery, auto replies, scheduled posts. Answer messages once a day, not live every hour. Market slowly but consistently. Post once a week. Create one piece of content explaining how your product helps. Share feedback and reviews. Build trust through repetition. Let's be real. If your life is tied to one salary, one client, or one project, you are one decision away from disaster. All it takes is one email that says, "We're letting you go," one medical emergency, or one life event, and everything you built for 10 years can vanish, unless you have something else that pays you while you sleep. Building a second income stream also builds confidence, because you no longer fear losing your job. It builds creativity, because you learn to turn ideas into income. It builds patience, because assets take time and you become disciplined. And it builds skill, because you learn tech, marketing, communication, and systems. It's not about becoming rich. It's about becoming unshakable. This is your emergency parachute, your backup engine, your safety net, and maybe your future full-time dream. Don't wait until life forces you. Start small. Build slowly, but never again depend on only one source to feed your dreams. Way 6. Upgrade your tools. The quality of your tools reflects the quality of your standards. Let's now talk about something that seems small, but changes everything. The tools you use. are silently shaping the quality of your work, your time, and your confidence. If you're using old, slow, broken, or cheap tools, you're not just slowing down your progress. You're silently telling your brain, my work doesn't deserve better. That's why one of the smartest self-investments you can ever make is to upgrade your tools. Not for show, not for display, but because better tools create better results. Imagine a carpenter who builds wooden furniture. Now imagine he uses a hammer that's 10 years old. The grip is loose, the handle slips, the head is chipped. He hits a nail, it bends. He redoes it. He gets frustrated. The wood cracks. He spends more time fixing than creating. Then he buys a new, balanced, shock-resistant hammer. Now every nail goes in straight. The grip feels right. He finishes faster. His results improve. Same carpenter, same skill, but with the right tool. He becomes twice as effective. What are tools in your life? A chair that keeps your posture straight. A laptop that doesn't freeze when you open 3 tabs. A phone that takes good videos for your content. A microphone that makes your voice clear. A faster internet plan that saves 30 minutes a day. A good pair of shoes if you walk a lot. A solid table for studying. A better app that automates your daily routine. A set of books, planners, headphones, or lighting. These tools are not extras. They are extensions of your brain. Every poor tool adds micro frustrations. Every good tool adds silent confidence. Cheap earphones make your online calls sound low quality. An old camera makes your good product look bad. A lagging laptop makes you avoid work. A weak desk light strains your eyes. A broken chair hurts your back and ruins focus. A weak app causes errors and wastes time. Every single tool you use is either saving you time, protecting your health, and helping you create better work, or it's doing the opposite, quietly draining you. You don't need to buy everything at once. Do it step by step. Make a list. Of the 3 tools you use most often, where do you feel slow, irritated, or tired? Pick one tool to upgrade this month. Can you get a better mouse, chair, planner, or lamp? If a tool saves you 1 hour every week, that's 52 hours a year. If it costs $36, that's only 69 cents per hour saved. If your time is worth more than 69 cents an hour, it's a smart investment. Sell or give away the old one. Make room. Treat your tools with respect. When you work with better tools, you feel more professional. You respect your work more. You procrastinate less. You enjoy the process more. You stop saying, I'll do it later. You finish faster with better quality. Tools affect behavior. Behavior affects results. Results affect identity. A master can do great work with bad tools, but he can do greater work with great tools. Stop forcing your brain to carry the weight your tools should be carrying. You are not lazy, your tools might be slow. You are not unmotivated, your tools might be ugly. You are not behind, your tools might be holding you back. Upgrade one tool today and watch how your entire system upgrades tomorrow. Way 7. Improve your communication, the most profitable skill in the world. You can be intelligent, you can be creative, you can be highly skilled, but if you cannot explain your ideas clearly, you will always be misunderstood, understated, and underpaid. That's why one of the most powerful self-investments in the world is this: improve your communication. Not public speaking, not debate, not just speaking English fluently. We already covered that. I mean clear, impactful, respectful communication. Whether you're talking to a client, a friend, your boss, your parents, your audience, or even yourself, let's imagine two experts working in a medical lab. Both have discovered a new solution that could change public health. The first scientist has all the data, charts, equations, and years of testing, but when she speaks, she sounds cold, technical, robotic. People don't understand her. She explains the what and the how, but never the why. She talks for 10 minutes, but no one remembers anything. The second scientist begins differently. He says, imagine if your child had asthma and couldn't play outside. Now imagine this new solution could change that child's life in 3 months without side effects. Then he pauses, shows one simple image, and explains the results with calm, clear confidence. What happens? The second scientist gets the funding. The audience trusts him. The government invites him to speak again. Same science, same facts, different communication. Where? This is the truth of life. People don't buy the best ideas, they buy the best explained ideas. When you learn to communicate better, everything improves. Your job interviews, your meetings, your relationships, your self-respect, your leadership, your ability to teach, sell, lead, inspire, and connect. Communication is the skill that connects your brain to the world. If you master it, people listen to you. If you don't, people ignore you, even if you have genius inside you. It's not about talking more, it's about making the other person understand your idea clearly and feel something. Great communicators listen deeply before they speak. They use simple words instead of complicated ones. They give examples to make ideas visual. They pause when they speak instead of rushing. They respect time with short but powerful sentences. They use tone, not just words. They speak from the heart, not just the mind. How can you start improving your communication today? Here's a beginner plan. Speak slower on purpose. Fast talking signals fear. Calm speech shows control. Record yourself explaining something simple, like how to make tea. Listen to the playback. Do you sound clear? Practice in front of a mirror and say, here's what I believe. Here's why I believe it. Here's what I want to say. Watch one TED Talk every week, but not just for fun. Study it like a student. Pause, repeat lines, learn phrasing. Read aloud for 5 minutes daily. It helps you pronounce clearly and become aware of your tone. Don't focus on big words. Focus on big clarity. Practice asking for help, giving honest feedback, saying no without guilt, pitching your idea in 1 minute, explaining your skills in an interview, and introducing yourself in a way people remember. The more you practice, the more your confidence rises. Look at presidents, business owners, spiritual leaders, YouTubers, authors, teachers. What do they all have in common? They know how to communicate a message that makes people feel seen, understood, and inspired. That's not talent. It's a trainable skill, and you can start training it right now. The world is full of people with talent who are invisible. Don't let that be you. If you can speak clearly, you can lead, you can sell, you can build trust, you can teach, you can change lives. The fastest way to multiply your power in any room is to learn how to speak in a way that people feel, remember, and respect. That's communication, and it will never stop being your most valuable asset. Way 8. Explore creativity. Regularly fuel the mind that solves problems and creates opportunities. Let's go deeper into something most people ignore. But every successful person secretly protects their creative space. Here's what most people never understand. Creativity is not just for artists. It is the fuel behind every invention, solution, business, movement, and breakthrough. It doesn't matter if you're an engineer, teacher, entrepreneur, student, designer, coder, or homemaker. If your brain stops playing, if it stops imagining, if it only runs in straight lines, you slowly die inside. That's why one of the greatest self-investments you can make is this: explore creativity regularly. Not once a year, not just on weekends, but as consistently as you feed your body, feed your imagination. Take two technology companies. Company A is brilliant, logical, and structured. Everyone works 9 to 5. They follow systems, deadlines, and rules. But they never question those rules. They never play with ideas. They never experiment. Their products are good, but never great. Company B also has structure. But once a week, every team holds a crazy idea session, no filters, no limits, no fear of failure. During one session, an employee suggests a new button that changes how users interact. That single idea becomes the next billion-dollar product. Why? Because creativity wasn't just allowed, it was valued. That's what you need in your life too. Creativity is thinking of new solutions when old ones fail. It's designing your daily life in a way that energizes you. It's finding a new way to say I love you to someone you care about, solving a problem no one else sees, starting a new project, channel, design, or business when others say it's impossible. Creativity is not painting. It's solving life with color and courage. You don't need to be an artist. You just need to give your brain permission to play. Here are some simple actions that bring creative energy. Walk in silence with no phone. Let your thoughts form naturally. Keep a crazy ideas notebook and write 5 wild ideas every week. Visit a museum, art gallery, or nature spot once a month. Use a new app to make something visual, even a simple poster or slide. Try writing a small story, poem, or scene. Rearrange your room just for fun. Listen to music you don't understand, just feel it. Watch animated shorts or creative films, even 5-minute ones. These might sound small, but they keep your mental oxygen flowing. When the job market shifts, creative people adapt. When a business fails, they redesign. When others quit, they reinvent. When nothing makes sense, they draw their own map. That's not magic. That's creativity trained through regular exploration. The world doesn't belong to the smartest. It belongs to the most creative problem solvers. When your brain is trained to imagine, reimagine, and explore, you stop depending on instructions. You start creating your own answers. That is power. And that's why creativity is not a waste of time. It is a weapon of the future. Way 9 question your beliefs. Reprogram the invisible rules that control your life. Let's start with a difficult but honest truth. You are not living your life, you are living your beliefs. And most of those beliefs were not created by you. Your beliefs about money, love, time, happiness, fear, failure, and success were shaped by childhood experiences, by teachers, society, culture, religion, social media, past trauma, and people who gave up on their dreams. So when someone says you can't do that and you believe it, that belief becomes a wall. Not because the wall is real, but because you stopped questioning it That's why one of the deepest and most life-changing investments you can make in yourself is this: learn to question your beliefs before they become your prison. There's an old and powerful example from psychology. In many circuses, when a baby elephant is born, its leg is tied to a small rope connected to a wooden peg in the ground. The baby elephant tries to escape. It pulls, it struggles, it gets tired, and eventually gives up. Months later, the elephant grows bigger, stronger, massive. But the trainer never changes the rope. The peg remains the same, and the elephant never tries to escape again. Why? Because it no longer believes it can. The belief became stronger than its body. That's what false beliefs do to you. I'm too old to start now. I'm not good with money. I always fail. People like me don't succeed. I need a degree to be respected. I'll never be fluent in English. If I'm not perfect, I'll be judged. If I say no, they'll leave me. If I try something new, I'll fail. None of these are facts. They're beliefs, often programmed by people who were afraid. This isn't about positive thinking, it's about mental rewiring. Here's how to do it step by step. First, identify the belief. Ask yourself, what do I keep telling myself? I'm not smart enough. I'll always be poor. I'm not good at relationships. Write it down. Then ask, who gave me this belief? Was it a parent, a teacher, a boss, a heartbreak, or a mistake? Next, ask, did that person have the kind of life I want? If not, why am I carrying their belief as truth? Find proof that the opposite can be true. If you believe, I'm too old to start, look for people who succeeded after 40, 50, or 60. If you believe, I'm bad at learning, find stories of people who struggled in school but became brilliant. Your belief is a lens. Change the lens and you'll see a completely different life. Replace negative statements with better questions. Instead of saying, why am I always like this? Ask, what would happen if I acted as if the opposite were true? What would happen if I believed I could learn anything with time? If I believed I don't need to be perfect to start? If I believed I could rewrite my story? Your beliefs don't just shape your choices, they shape your habits, relationships, body language, confidence, emotions, energy, and future. If you believe nothing will change, you won't take action. You won't try. You'll settle. And 10 years from now, you'll wonder what went wrong. But if you believe I'm allowed to grow, you move, you speak, you learn, you build. You are not a tree. You are not stuck. You can update your thoughts like you update your phone. But if you don't, you'll live on outdated, broken, hand-me-down beliefs that never belonged to you in the first place. Challenge them, break them, choose new ones. That's how you begin the most powerful transformation of your life. But we tend to measure your growth. What you don't track, you can't improve. Here's a dangerous illusion that destroys more dreams than failure ever will. I'm not improving. Many people quit too early, not because they weren't growing, but because they couldn't see their growth. That's why one of the most powerful investments you can make is this: start measuring your personal growth. Not obsessively, not emotionally, but clearly, with your eyes open. Because what you track grows, and what you ignore rots. Imagine a gym that removes all its mirrors. People come in, train every day, sweat, lift, and run. But after a month, they don't see any difference. They forget how they looked 30 days ago. They feel frustrated and quit. Now imagine the same gym, but this time they take a photo every week, measure strength once a month, track weight, sleep, water, and energy. Suddenly, Small improvements become visible. They see progress. They feel progress. So, they keep going. That's the power of measuring growth. It makes invisible progress visible. What can you track in your life? Not everything, but the right things. Track things like English vocabulary, learn this week, pages read this month, hours spent on your craft, money saved or invested, workouts completed, bad habits skipped, hours of focused work, days you said no to something toxic, messages sent to potential clients, or moments you stayed calm under pressure. These are not random numbers. They are evidence of transformation. You don't need an app or a fancy journal. You just need awareness. Step 1. Choose 3 things you want to improve. For example, English speaking, daily reading, and income. Step 2. Choose one small number to track for each. How many minutes did you speak today? How many pages did you read? How much money did you make or save? Write it down on paper, a spreadsheet, or in your notes app. Step 3. Review it once a week. Ask yourself, did I grow? What slowed me down? What helped me the most? What do I need to change? Progress becomes predictable when it becomes visible. When you track your growth, you stop comparing yourself to others. You compare yourself to who you were yesterday. You feel encouraged. When you see small wins, you build momentum. You avoid self-doubt. You improve faster because you can see what's working. You stop asking, am I growing? And start saying, I know I'm growing. Here's the proof. The reason so many people stay stuck is not because they don't grow. It's because they don't notice their growth. You water the seed every day, but give up before the plant breaks through the soil. Why? Because you didn't track the roots forming underneath. Start measuring, because you might already be becoming great. You just haven't written it down yet. Way 11. Teach what you learn. Double your growth by sharing what you know. Here's a deep truth most people never realize. You don't really understand something until you can explain it to someone else. That's why one of the most powerful ways to invest in yourself, one that multiplies your confidence, skills, memory, communication, and clarity, is to teach what you learn, not after becoming an expert, not after reading 100 books, not after earning a degree. Start right now. The moment you learn something valuable, pass it on. When you do, something magical happens. You understand it better. You remember it longer. You feel more confident. You help someone else. And you build your identity as a contributor, not just a consumer. Imagine 2 massive digital libraries. Library A collects every book in the world but never allows anyone to read or borrow them. It keeps all the knowledge inside. Library B also collects books, but it lets people borrow, read, learn, and teach others. It shares knowledge every day. After 10 years, which library has made more impact? Library B. Because knowledge that's kept inside eventually dies, but knowledge that is shared multiplies. That's what teaching does. When you teach even something small, it changes your brain. It forces you to think clearly, organize your thoughts, basically simplify ideas, handle questions, and repeat information, which strengthens memory. Every time you teach, you grow. You're not showing off, you're activating the knowledge you already have and making it stronger. People think you need to be an expert to teach. That's a myth. You can teach things you just learned yesterday because beginners often explain better than experts. Examples: learned 5 new English words today. Teach them in a 1-minute video. Read 2 pages of a book. Summarize the key idea in your own words. Discovered a new Canva trick. Show it in a story. Studied one habit from a book. Explain it to a friend. Watched a powerful video. Share the lesson in a message. You don't need 10 years of experience. You need 10 minutes of courage and a heart that wants to help. Where can you teach? On social media, post one tip you learned today. On YouTube Shorts, teach something in 30 seconds. On Instagram Reels, share a mindset, habit, or skill. In WhatsApp groups, send a short summary of what you just read. With your family, explain a money-saving trick you discovered. With friends, share what helped you stay focused today. With students or younger siblings, help them study in a fun way. You are not showing off. You are saying this helped me, maybe it can help you too. That is service. That is teaching. That is growth. After teaching, you'll notice your brain recalls information faster. You stop being afraid to speak. You start getting small compliments. Wow, that was useful. You feel like you own the knowledge now. You gain the ability to explain, which is one of the most profitable skills in the world. Every teacher becomes better at learning because every time they explain, they evolve. You don't have to be a master to share value. You just need to be one step ahead of the person you're teaching. Start small, teach daily, make it simple. Make it yours. You teach what you learn, you invest in yourself and in others. And that makes your growth faster, deeper, and more meaningful than anything else. Way 12. Improve your relationships. Build the emotional environment where you can truly grow. Let's talk about something deeper, something most people never include when discussing self-investment. Your relationships. Here's a truth that not enough people talk about. You can't grow in an environment that constantly drains you. You can read 100 books, watch 1,000 motivational videos, write down your goals, and meditate for hours, but if your daily environment is full of guilt, negativity, control, fake support, silent jealousy, and constant criticism, then your progress will always feel like trying to climb a mountain with a rope pulling you backward. That's why one of the most emotional, important, and life-changing investments is this: improve your relationships. Not the quantity, not the number of followers, the quality. The people around you should make you feel safe, seen, encouraged, challenged, respected, and loved, even when you fail. Imagine trying to grow a beautiful rose plant, but the soil is dry, toxic, and filled with trash. You water it daily. You place it in the sun. You talk to it, but nothing grows. Why? Because the plant was healthy, the soil was sick. Now imagine changing the soil. You remove the trash, add nutrients, and give it air. Suddenly, the plant blooms. The same is true for you. Sometimes, you are not the problem. The emotional soil you're growing in is. Signs you need to improve your relationships include feeling drained after most conversations, hiding your dreams to avoid judgment, walking on eggshells, afraid to say the wrong thing, feeling guilted or manipulated, or being constantly corrected. You feel smaller when you succeed and they don't. You don't feel celebrated, only tolerated. You're the one always giving, supporting, and fixing, but no one does the same for you. This doesn't mean those people are evil. It means they are not your growth partners. Improving relationships doesn't always mean ending them. It means raising your standard and choosing what energy you allow near you. Set emotional boundaries. For example, say, "I'm working on something important. I'll reply later." You are not rude. You are protecting your peace. Have honest conversations. Tell someone, I feel like I can't share my dreams around you. Can we talk about that? Reduce time with people who shrink you. You don't need to make a big announcement. Just start saying no more often. Spend less time. Use distance as medicine. Add people who grow with you. Join communities, classes, groups, and spaces where growth is normal. Talk to people who read, learn, support, listen, build, encourage, fail, and try again. Invest in emotionally intelligent people. They are rare, but worth everything. They listen when you're low. They tell you hard truths with kindness. They celebrate your wins, even if they're behind. They don't gossip, they grow. If your current environment keeps killing your confidence, you'll never feel safe enough to grow. That's why improving relationships is not a soft skill. It's a survival system. You don't need more motivation. You need fewer emotional landmines around you. You don't need 100 friends or a perfect family. You don't need loud, exciting, always there people. You need one or two who love you unconditionally. You need a community that inspires, not competes. Distance from what drains your spirit is one of the most healing and powerful self-investments in the world. Protect your energy. Choose your circle. Speak your truth. Set boundaries. And let your life bloom in healthy soil. Way 13. Build invisible skills. Master the tools nobody sees but everyone feels. Let's be honest. Most people chase visible skills, learning software, practicing presentations, memorizing formulas, speaking fluently, showing certificates, posting success online. Yes, those are important, but what separates the extraordinary from the average is something much deeper: the invisible skills. These are the inner tools that make all your outer success possible: patience, focus, emotional control, deep thinking, discipline, self-awareness, decision-making, listening, energy management, time control, delayed gratification, mental recovery, clarity in chaos, thinking before reacting, and doing hard things without complaining. You won't get applause for these. You can't post a certificate for them. But everyone around you feels the difference when you have them. Imagine an iceberg, only 10% is visible above the surface. The part everyone sees. The 90% below the water keeps it strong. The same is true for people. What the world sees, your results, achievements, and confidence, is the top 10%. The 90% holding it up is your invisible self-control, quiet focus, and inner strength when no one is watching. If you ignore the invisible, your visible success will eventually collapse. Ever wonder why someone with talent still fails? Why a smart student burns out, a confident speaker quits, a brilliant coder misses deadlines, or a motivated learner gives up after 2 weeks? It's not because they lacked knowledge. It's because they lacked invisible strength. They couldn't handle pressure, failure, rejection, delays, boredom, criticism, or self-doubt. They had all the skills but no core strength. It's like building a luxury house on a weak foundation. It looks great until the storm comes. So how do you build invisible skills? Step by step. Practice silence. Silence trains your brain to observe, not react. It improves thinking, patience, and emotional intelligence. Spend 5 minutes a day sitting quietly, no music, no phone, just you and your breath. Delay gratification. Choose long-term gain over short-term pleasure. Don't watch a reel before finishing 30 minutes of focused work. Say no to sugar now so you can say yes to health later. This builds discipline. Silently respond, don't react. Take 3 seconds before replying when triggered. This builds emotional control, the superpower of mature people. Do boring tasks with full attention. Fold clothes mindfully. Clean your table with presence. Read slowly and deeply. Why? Because invisible greatness is built in boring moments, not flashy ones. Catch your self-talk every time you say, I can't do this, change it to, this is hard, but I can figure it out. That invisible rewiring creates lifelong results. When you build invisible skills, people trust you more. You break old habits faster. You manage time better. You get promoted quietly. You make fewer careless decisions. You stay calm when others panic. You win silently. No one will post about it, but everyone will feel it. Your presence will say, I've trained in silence. Now I move with power. If you only build skills people can see, you'll collapse under pressure people can't see. But if you build invisible strength first, you become unshakable. This isn't flashy. It won't get likes, but it will give you a life you're proud of. And that's the ultimate reward. Way 15, learn how to learn. Master the skill that unlocks all other skills. This might be one of the most underrated self-investments in history, but it's also one of the most powerful, profitable, and long-lasting learn how to learn. The most successful people aren't the ones who know everything. They're the ones who know how to learn anything faster, deeper, and better. When you know how to learn, you can pick up any skill, adapt to any environment, recover from failure, stay curious, master new technologies, remain relevant, and grow no matter what. This is the meta skill, the one that multiplies every other. Think of two people lost in a forest. Person A carries a heavy bag full of tools, knife, rope, hammer, flashlight, and matches. If one tool breaks, they're stuck. Person B carries one Swiss Army knife, a multi-tool that adapts to any challenge. Who survives longer? Person B. Because when you carry the tool of learning, you can handle anything. In life, industries change and skills become outdated, but the person who knows how to learn becomes unstoppable. It means developing the internal system to absorb information faster, retain it longer, apply it practically, adapt it to new situations, and improve your learning speed every year. That's how you future-proof your brain. Use the Feynman technique. Pick a topic and explain it in the simplest way, like teaching a 5-year-old. When you get stuck, go back and learn again. Repeat until you can explain it clearly. That's how you discover what you truly understand and what you don't. Use spaced repetition. Don't try to memorize in one day. Review in intervals day 1, day 3, day 7, day 14, day 30. This follows how your brain naturally remembers. Use active recall. Instead of rereading notes, test yourself. Ask, what did I learn yesterday? Can I explain it without looking? Can I write it in my own words? This improves retention 10 times more than passive reading. Use chunking. Break big topics into smaller parts. Don't say I'm learning marketing. Say, I'm learning how to write a good headline, or I'm studying color psychology in ads, or I'm learning how email funnels work. Small chunks lead to faster progress. Learn by teaching. The moment you teach something, you double your learning. Most people only learn within their own field, but the smartest learners connect different ones. A business person studies psychology to understand customers. A graphic designer studies storytelling to design better brands. A language learner studies memory techniques from chess masters. The more diverse your learning, the stronger your thinking becomes. When you know how to learn, you can switch careers, recover from failure, adapt in any country, solve bigger problems, and master new tools faster. You stop being afraid of not knowing because you've trained your brain to say, I can figure this out. That belief is the most valuable software you can install in your mind. School taught us what to learn. Life demands that we learn how to learn. And when you do, you become free. You stop fearing failure. You don't get stuck. You don't give up after one try. You stop depending on luck or talent. You understand that every skill is learnable, and that mindset makes you unbeatable.